Hello, we are compelled as marriage counselors to work on the marriages and to make marriages better. Welcome to the professional marriage counseling, and the theme of this course is making marriages better. We are getting into module 2, which is the foundation of marriage. So, if we talk about the foundation of marriage, there are a lot of ingredients that we need to understand because the foundation of marriage will determine how the marriage is going to be. Before you get into counseling a couple, you have to know how their marriage started and what is the foundation of their marriage. Because without understanding the foundation, it will be very difficult for you to know where the problem is coming up. The Bible says, if the foundation be destroyed, what can a righteous man do? So, it is very important and it is of utmost important as professional counselors to first look at the foundation. How was the marriage founded, and also what are the ingredients in the foundation of marriages? So that will help us to build a strong marriage counseling base. This is your host, Dr. Tulipomo Fumbo, a counselor and also a legal counselor. In this course, we are going to look at four topics. We are going to, in this subject, we're going to look at four topics: reasons why people get married, legal basis of marriage, cultural background in marriage, and also we are going to, although we are not going to touch this, we'll touch it in another course, which another subject on gender issues in marriage. The question is, why do people get married? You know, there are a lot of reasons why people get married, and it is from the reasons that people have when getting married, it will have the effect on their marriage. This is a puzzle, and it is something that, as a marriage counselor, it's very important just to ask the couple. You ask maybe the husband, why did you get married? Or why? Just simply ask them on the separatory why they got married. And from the reasons that they're going to give you, you'll be able to know the basis on the conflicts in marriage and how best you can be able to help them as a counselor. So, as some of the reasons that most of the reasons that people get into marriage, they are selfish reasons. They are selfish reasons, and most of the reasons are the reasons of what I can get out of marriage. So everyone, when they are thinking about getting married, they think what they can get out of their marriage. That's why you find that one gets married because he wants somebody to be cooking for him, he wants somebody to be washing for him, or she wants somebody to be paying her bills, somebody to be cooking for her, somebody to be feeding her, somebody to be taking care of her financial issues. So the others, they get married because they want children. So those are the things you see that the basis of most marriages, if it is not all marriages, they are based on selfish interest. We do not care about the other party, what I'm going to offer to the other party. We only look at what that other party is supposed to offer unto me. I've asked many times, like especially ladies who say, why should I have a man if he cannot provide to me? And we immediately, when you ask them, what do you have to offer to that man? Apart from sex, you would find that they don't even have a reason. They don't even have anything to offer in marriage. What they only think they can offer, it is just sex. And I usually say, a man can get sex from anywhere. So the sex should not be the basis of marriage, and should not a woman should not think that sex can sustain marriage, no matter how best one can be able to uh, show the sexual, uh, master the sexual styles and everything to please a man, that will not sustain the marriage. So now, why do people get married? Let me just look at some of the reasons. We'll look at emotional reasons. Emotional reasons, people get married because they want to be loved. There is a need, a desire for love and companionship. When people reaches, or when we reach the age after 17 years, there is that crave of wanting somebody to be with, and there is that genetical uh, thing in a human being where you want to have with somebody that you can be with. Then there is, and that creates also emotional support and stability. You want somebody that you can share with, emotional and also be stable with, shared life experiences and memories, desire for intimacy and affection. So there is that desire for intimacy. You want somebody who can be able to satisfy your sexual feelings and other feelings, somebody who can just be close to you. There is the age whereby you feel not closer to anybody, but you just want somebody who can be called your husband or your wife, is the person that you want, who can fulfill that desire. Sense of belonging and connection, where you say, I belong, Mrs. Uh, you feel you have got a woman besides you. Practical reasons: financial security and stability. Others get married because of financial security. If I get married to somebody who has got money, it's one of the ways of getting rich. You get married to somebody who has got money, you are secured. So other people, they get married because of financial security and stability. Others get married because of shared responsibility and household cause. They want somebody that they can share the bills with and also other responsibility. Somebody that they can raise children together. I've heard this in many people, whereby, especially single fathers and single mothers, they just want to get married because they want somebody to be a father figure to their children, or they want somebody to be the mother figure to their children, or somebody who can keep their children, and so somebody who can be able to keep their children. Um, then there are social benefits. There are whereby you do maybe the joint insurance, then you are able to acquire properties together, simplified decision making and planning. When you have got somebody who can be able to think, you can think with, especially the women folk. You may find that she may be doing well in business, she wants to do well in business, but she just wants the voice of a man, and that makes them to be more successful. Same with man. They say at every success man there is behind a woman. Same like a woman. They are any successful woman. You'll find that there is behind there is a man that is supporting her. Then social and cultural reasons, family expectations and traditions. Especially in Africa, somebody is expected to get married when they reach at a certain age. And especially men, most men, they have married not because they were ready to marry, because everyone was telling them to get married. So most men are forced into marriages. So that is same. Even there some ladies. I met this lady who was saying that I I reached at a place at the point whereby everyone was asking me, why are you married? When are you getting married? And when you are at the funeral, family funeral, weddings, and everything, and everyone will be concerned ah, and I had no desire to get married, but so I just have to fulfill their desires, and now I'm having problems in marriage. So the most of the challenges in marriages, they are coming from the foundation, which is the reason why people get married. Social status and respectability. Others get married because they want to be respected. This is Mr. So he is married. This is how he's married. I think this also had when I became a pastor when I was very young. I think before the age of 20 years, I was already in college, and that was a challenge to me in the sense that people were asking me if I am married. If I am married, and I had no desire to get married. I started asking myself as a pastor, so I need to get married. And also the trust issue, people begins to respect you. There was a time that I was pastoring a church and I was one of the youngest people in the church. Now there were a lot of marital issues in that church, and so you will not be confident to speak. So you want a social status for you to be able to be recognized as a pastor who can be able to counsel. And then there is community recognition and acceptance, whereby you just have to people just to accept you, as I was saying, in the community. Or they say no, yeah, bachelors are not stable, or single women are prostitutes and all those things. So you just want that recognition that he is married and is respected. Then cultural and religious obligations. Culture also demands people to marry. So people get married because of the culture. Then family reunification. Families also will say, if you are not going to marry, now who is going to inherit this? Who is going to go? So you'll be forced to get married because you want your family properties, or you want they will not, sometimes they will not even give you your portion because you are not married. So they will force you to get married, and you not even force you. You see that if I don't get married, I'll not have an inheritance. So people get married because they want an inheritance. Then there is personal growth reasons, self-discovery and personal growth. Others, they just get married because they want to feel how it feels to get married, building a life together. There is this, okay, when I grow now, who is going to take care of me? Or when you are sick, who is going to take care of you? Who is going to bath you? All those things. So people get married because they want somebody who can build, who can be with them, learning and evolving as a team, overcoming challenges and diversity. Others, as they believe, two are better than one. So if we are two, we can be able to overcome challenges. Others, because of loneliness, and maybe they come from the family where they are few, and they will get married so that they become at least many, developing emotional intelligence and maturity. Then there is legal and security reasons, legal protection and rights. There are privileges that sometimes people that are married have. Inheritance and property rights. There are those people want to have the properties from the husband or from the wife. Social security benefits, health insurance and medical decisions. So those reasons why people they get married, because they want somebody who is working. And if I get married to somebody who is working, I'll have health insurance and also medical decision. um, uh, Immigration and citizenship. I want to get married to somebody from America so that I may be able to get citizenship in America. So that people get such reasons. They want to get married, whereby um, they get married because they want to be citizen of a certain country. So that is give you the legal ground to be in a given country. So people get married with such reasons. And also there are spiritual and religious reasons, sacred union and divine blessings. There are those religions whereby they believe that enhances spirituality, fulfilling religious and spiritual obligation, building faith-based life together. And it's like there is this common saying where I say, um, in Christianity, if you cannot endure, get married. If you cannot stay pure, get married. So people get married because they want to fulfill their religious obligation and they don't want to be sinning, as they think sex outside marriage, before marriage or after, before marriage, it is sin. So they want to get married because of sex. Um, Eternal companionship, others believe the person that I'm going to be with when I die. The legal basis of marriage vary across jurisdictions. So, what are the legal basis of marriage? So, there are different perspective and there are different bases, legal bases of marriage. So, they are according to the types of marriage laws. Like in Zambia, we have got three types of marriages, and categorized in two, where we have got a civil marriage and also um, we have got the traditional marriages. So there are those are the bases of marriage. Now, civil marriages are governed by secular laws focusing on contractual rights and obligations. So the marriages that called, like in Zambia, you've got marriage statutory or marriage acts, and in many countries now, those marriages are called civil marriages, and in that marriage, it's based on contractual rights and obligations. So there is a contract that you have to sign, you have to make a vow to each other, and that's why it is very hard for you to break that vow, because you have to undergo through the court, because you made those vows. Yeah, you had to sworn before your friend and say, for better for worse, I'll take you as my lovely wedded husband, uh, till death do us apart. So for you to break that, you need to go through some channels and some affidavits. Uh, Two religious marriages governed by religious laws and customs. They are religious, like in Christianity, there is this one which is monogamy, whereby a husband cannot or one cannot just have two wives. So there is that. There are those religious whereby the religious has to be the religious beliefs are the centers of the marriages. Then there is common law, which is traditional law, traditional marriages, which is recognized relationships without even formal registration. So in Zambia, we have got, as long as you stay with somebody over 3 years, then that is over 3 months, that is marriage. I don't know where we are getting this in Zambia, cohabitation. In Zambia, we don't, there is no law that protects or somebody that, no, I was just cohabiting. This one is not my wife. This one is not my husband. When that person dies and or when you die, that person is going to take over and inherit the things that you have. There is nothing like cohabitation in Zambian law. Key components of marriage. What are the things that are required in marriage? Like most of the marriages, there is capacity. Parties must have the, the mental capacity to consent. Those are the legal basis. Consent. Parties must freely agree to marry. Age. Minimum age requirements according to the jurisdiction. There are laws that allows marriages at the age of 16 years, and there are laws that allows marriages at the after the age of 21. Um, Kingship, prohibition on marrying cross relatives. So in the legal marriage, you are not allowed to marry within uh, the the family and the cross family. Then there is also monogamy. Most jurisdiction require marriage for one husband, one wife. So legal rights and obligation, property rights. When people get married, there is property right. But I've not checked in Zambian law. In Zimbabwean marriage acts, there is what is called marriage without properties. So you can be able to get married and without your wife or your husband claiming any property. The only properties that you gather are those properties that you are gathering together, but other properties you have no rights, especially those marriages whereby the second marriages where the husband has children and the wife has children. There is a place where you can get married without a property, and property you don't share in properties. Inheritance, then there is spouse support, child custody, and support. So these are the rights in marriage. Then there are recent development of marriage, like same-sex marriage recognition. Those are things that you are fighting, polygamy and multiple partners. Also, this one is coming so strong. There is what is called open marriage, whereby the husband or the wife must be allowed to get married to you are free, you are married and you can date anybody, those open marriages. And also there is online marriage registration where you can be able to register and get married online. And marriage equality laws, there is whereby the husband and the wife should carry the same powers. So those are the things that are coming. Then there are challenges and controversies in marriage. Marriage equality, these are the controversies that are coming, yeah, that we are having this time. Equality, gender in marriage, does it exist or should it be encouraged? So those are the challenges that you have to know. So we are in a wave where women want their rights, Nandi. They want to bring those rights in marriages and all those. So marriage equality, those are some of the challenges that we are facing, especially as marriage counselors. Then child marriage, like if you look, if we, the way we saw at the statistic, marriages have got there are very few marriages that survive. Those marriages before the age of 25 or before the age of 30 years, they are they are much vulnerable when it comes to divorce. So now child marriages, they have higher levels of divorce. So those are the challenges that are faced in and controversies. First, like child marriage, like marriage, the others, they believe that no, when somebody gets married early, it means that that person is going to grow and make better marriages. But others, they say no. Forced marriages or arranged marriages, those are the should those forced marriages or arranged marriage continue? And then fraud. Marriage fraud, it is whereby you just like you want to get a marriage certificate so that maybe you've got an opportunity, like also like what we were talking about, where you somebody comes like in Zambia as marriage chaplains of shelters. Then we people will just come over, pastor or commissioner, I want I want a marriage certificate. Then you do the marriage fraud, whereby people get married who are not married just because someone wants to get citizenship. So there are those issues that are there. There was this those days when if you've got a marriage certificate, you are not going to be sent to rural areas. You'll be where your husband is. So there were a lot of marriage frauds. So this woman, she got a certain man who was, and they went to the civic center and got married legally and paid this guy. Now, when this lady wanted to get married, this guy said, "No, she's my wife." So, and they had no reasons for divorce. They failed uh, to divorce because the it's the process of divorce when you are in a statutory marriage. It's ambiguous. Then intestate and international uh, recognition of marriage. So there are marriages that are not recognized, like our traditional marriage is not recognized internationally. So if you are married under the customary marriage, you just cross the border, that marriage is not recognized any outside your country. So you can get married and she cannot even sue you, or you cannot be sued. You cannot sue her because she's not married. Your marriage is unrecognized in your country. Same-sex marriages, these are also the challenges that are there in marriages. Then we have polygamous marriages. These are homosexual marriages, and polygamous marriages is also a challenge and a controversy in marriage. Cultural basis of marriage, there is pre-marriage practices. Um, there are courtships like other other traditions, other cultures. They believe in courtship, dating, courtship, engagement, and all those procedures. And other cultures, they're just arranged marriages. And others, it's you just see your husband on the engagement ceremony, like you have seen in Nigeria, where the woman is going to pick the husband, or the husband is going to pick the wife. Dowry and bride price negotiations, and family meeting and approvals. Cultural influence of marriage. There is religion. Religious has got much influence on marriage. So it is very much important to know that your religion will have an influence in marriage, either to make marriage or to destroy marriage. So also as counselors, we need to be aware of this, that some of the challenges that people have got cultural influences because of their belief, traditional beliefs, and social norms, social beliefs, economical factors. So those are the reasons. Now someone will say, I've paid, so I possess you. So they think that that is the reason why there are challenges in marriages. Marriage ceremonies, there are religious rituals and weddings, traditional ceremonies and rituals. So these also, they have got uh, the way they sustain marriages, like traditional ceremonies and rituals. You find that like chilanga mulilo, chombera ng'anda, chifikira, and all those things, they are they are there, or they also help in cementing marriage and also in building or breaking marriages. Then there is post-marriage expectations. In the post-marriage expectation are family laws and responsibilities, financial management, communication styles, conflict resolution, social obligations, cultural variations. In Africa, we emphasize family. Marriage is not between two people; it's between two families. So um, there is those things that has we are supposed to understand. So you have to know that in marriages there are expectations, there are family expectations, community expectations. Then on financial management, how these are the challenges that most families face. Finances, how do they manage finances? Then the social obligations, like family obligations, So this family, there is this one who comes from the family where is it is um, where it is nuclear centered, and there is someone who is comes from the family where it is extended centers, the centered family. So there also brings conflicts in marriages. So the impact of cultural differences, there is intercultural relationships, cultural identity conflicts. Cultural identity conflicts, these are also the major conflicts. So when you are doing them as a marriage counselor, you have to know the cultural differences of the couples. For example, if one is Tumbuka, another one is Bemba, you have to know the cultural differences. Tumbuka believes children belongs to a man. Bembas believe children belongs to a woman. Then the expectations, the way the Tumbukas expect the duties of that couple, and the way the Bembas expect the duties of that couple. So regardless of us being in urban areas where we have got cross-cultural interaction, but in counseling it is very much important for you to understand the cultural differences, the family disagreements because of the culture. There is this which is, why should I be charged 30,000 kwacha or 50,000 or 100,000 for dowry? As if they are selling me. Who can buy a human being at 100,000 kwacha? And if you if the dowry was equivalent to the investment that parents puts in a child, do you think anyone can afford to pay the dowry? So those are the issues. Now, what makes those issues to be so much pronounced? It's the culture. In Bemba culture previously, I was just paying Nsalamu and you are married. And in this Tumbuka culture where you have to pay a lot of cows to get that woman. So now those variation, you may find that there will be challenges in marriage. So those are the issues of marriage. So we have looked at the reasons why people get married, uh, and also some of the issues in the foundation, marriage foundation. So it is very much important to master these things as a counselor. You have to know that there are a lot of issues that you have to look at, reasons why people get married, legal basis of marriage, cultural ground on marriage. So these are the pillars when you are counseling people. When before you start counseling people, you have to at least know the reason why that couple got married, why each one got married. You may find that this woman got married because she wanted a financial support. Now the husband is unable to support her financially, so why should she be married? This man got married because he wanted somebody who can be keeping his children. Now this woman, she cannot keep the stepchildren. Or this man got married because he wanted someone to be cooking for him and washing. Now this woman wants to be working and she cannot manage those house chores. So those brings the conflicts in marriage. So you have to know the reasons why people got married, and also you have to know as a marriage counselors, as a professional marriage counselor, you have to know the legal basis of marriage. Is it a statutory marriage? Is it a traditional marriage? And also you have to know the cultural background. Which culture do they belong to? So those are the issues that you have to consider when married. This is your host, Dr. Tulipo Mwenifumbo, and we are next. We will look at module 2 in the next class, and we are on the professional marriage counseling. Thank you so much, and God bless you.